Welcome to today's vlog, and I know I've made quarantine seem easy, but there are 3 things I need right now. Coffee, which does not relate to quarantine. I will have that in a second. The chiropractor. I want to go to the chiropractor. I just feel so good after the chiropractor. I need some shit snapped, crackled, and popped on my body currently. And I don't know if I can go. I need to call them and see what their whole situation is right now, or when we'll be able to revisit, etc. And the 3rd thing is a cruise. I love cruises so much. We had even entertained the idea of taking a cruise. It would have been this year with all of us, you know? Just do a little group, go out, hang out on a cruise ship. But the way that infection spreaded on that one, was it Princess Cruise, or I don't remember what cruise line it was. I was like, ooh, no cruises for a while. Those are the 3 things that I've been like, ooh, I miss the chiropractor and I really want to go on a cruise. I love cruising. I love leisuring. Leisuring's like my favorite pastime. Actually, on the coffee note, I had to give up coffee for 6 weeks. 6 weeks during my elimination diet. What I learned about myself during that time, which it wasn't a big deal because I had given up coffee for 2 years, probably 6 years back. I had given up like cold turkey caffeine. It was terrible. I had like caffeine headaches and withdrawals, terrible. But this 6 weeks, it wasn't bad. And it made me realize I don't need coffee. I like coffee culture. Let me explain to you what coffee culture is. It's the act of walking into work with something in your hand, you know? So I started drinking tea-chino. A lot of you guys know what tea-chino is. It's a tea, but it kind of has like a coffee-ish flavor. So I would drink tea-chino, but it's like the ritual, like the morning routine of it all, like brewing your coffee or getting your iced coffee, running out the door with your bag and your coffee and your keys and something's in your mouth. You're like holding a lot of things, or getting to take a break in the middle of the day for a pick-me-up. Like your coworker getting out of the building, walking down the block to the local coffee shop to grab an iced coffee or tea or whatever it is in the middle of the day. Like that's what I've decided I like about coffee, is the culture of it all. Like during that time I would just get like some juice or almond milk or whatever it was, like a white tea, something non-caffeinated, a lemonade. It was just the act of going into your coffee spot. I think coffee culture is something that people underestimate, because I remember when I worked at Starbucks how much it would make someone's day. Like one of my customers, this was back when I was like 19, so long ago, maybe 18, I don't know. When you remembered their drink and their name, like that's an awesome part of your day. Like I remember one time I left my coffee, like I did a mobile order, then we had a like crazy morning. Anyways, I forgot that my order was there, and the barista brought it across the street to me, and like that was just so sweet. Like the whole culture around coffee and being able to go to a coffee shop on the weekend, open up your laptop, do some work, look at everyone else around you working, except for that one weird guy that's always just looking at Kylie Jenner's cleavage. That's not something that I made up. That's something that I've seen with my own eyes. But everyone's just there being authentic, like drinking their coffee, drinking their tea, like going up to get refills, and it's just a fun experience. That's what I like about coffee, like going through the drive-thru and getting your drink, and there's just something so special about it. Like you don't get that same feeling of going through a drive-thru and getting like, I don't know, fries. But when you get coffee, it feels so amazing. Does anyone feel the same way about like the culture around coffee? I don't know if anyone's ever said this before. It's just something that I noticed when I had to give up caffeine for a little bit. Luckily, I'm fully caffeinated again and I feel great about it. And I'm about to do a little double bump. I'm drinking decaf after this. Don't worry, I don't need to be more hyper than this. But yeah, sometimes I'm even drinking decaf. Sometimes in the morning, I'll have decaf if I'm not ready for caffeine yet. It's just, I like it. I like mixing my drink up. I like adding my little stevia. Like, everything about it is just awesome. I love coffee. It's amazing. And I guess it takes me back to like when I was little. My grandma used to give me coffee, my great grandma. She used to give me coffee before kindergarten. 5 years old. I started before you. And it was just our special little time. My mom would be getting ready for for work, and me and my grandma would just have our coffee and our breakfast. Mine was mostly milk and sugar cubes. Who remembers sugar cubes? Do they still make sugar cubes? I don't know. If you know if they make sugar cubes, let me know. But yeah, it was just sugar cubes and milk, mostly, with probably just a splash of coffee. But it was just that ritual that we had every morning. We had our coffee and usually half a grapefruit, sometimes some cornflakes, and I still remember that. I think it's kind of like food, like how you make memories around gatherings and things like that. I think coffee has that same kind of impact. But anyhow, let's jump into the vlog. Hello, kind people, and welcome back to another week and a half of my life. I really wanted to catch the highlights for you guys over the last week or so I'm sorry that this vlog took a little bit longer to come to you, but I wanted to make sure that it remained authentic and that I got to show you everything that I loved over the last couple of weeks. I did some propagating of my plants. Yeah, what is that? I had to watch YouTube to find out. Checked in on my dogs, aka my little deer outside, and had a fantastic week. If you like my channel and you want to see me grow, share my videos with a friend and subscribe. This week started off with my Imperfect Foods box. I haven't done Imperfect Produce, which has now become Imperfect Foods, in a while. I'll put a link down below where you can get $10 off of your box if you have one in your city, and I will get $10 off as well. So I got some eggs, some oranges, some cucumbers, an onion, which I haven't been able to eat onions, but my dietitian said if I pickled them that I should be fine, so I'm gonna try my hand at pickling. Some lemons, a cantaloupe, jalapenos, and some bell peppers, because you know I like things spicy. I'm just pointing out that I'm gonna pickle that onion for you guys. It's a little onion too. Haven't seen an onion that small for a while because Austin, well, Texas has very big produce. I also got some smoked cod and then some regular cod and 2 papaya, which were phenomenal. I rarely see papaya in the grocery store, so super nice to see them on Imperfect for the week, and they were at a great price. So overall, amazing haul. Those are some Amish eggs that were gonna go to waste, so I'm happy that they came to my house instead of going to the garbage. So I needed to go ahead and cut this cantaloupe because it was incredibly ripe. You can see how soft it is just me cutting through it. Since I already had my knife and cutting board out, I decided to go ahead and get my onion pickling, and I thought I had this one that was getting a bit wrinkly in the fridge that I would go ahead and pickle some jalapenos too. They gave me quite a few from Imperfect, and I don't go through them quite that quickly. So I went ahead and sliced those up. Then I just sliced my onion into rings and placed it on the top. And then I just reused the brine from a few other pickled products that I had in the refrigerator. One was from a sweet hot pepper, one was from some pickles that I had. I mixed them first to make sure that they would taste okay, and then poured them into my mason jar. I love mason jars. They just come in handy for so many different things. And there we have it, our pickled jalapenos and onions. They have to sit in the fridge for about 3 days, and then I will try them. Yum, look at those jalapenos. They look so good. I want to try pickling other things now. I feel like I have the pickle bug. I had to run to my mom's house to get a couple of plants, so I took some tomato soup with me that I've had in the freezer. I've just been reheating that. It's so good. The recipe is on my Instagram stories, and some honeydew melon that I was trying to finish up since I had cut up the cantaloupe. And this is one of the new marble pothos that I got. It's so pretty and so cute. And I also got another, just, I think it's called green, golden green, something like that, pothos. It's not in the best shape. I was kind of disappointed with this one, but I will fix it up. And I really felt like it was time for me to give some care to my plants. Some of them were starting to look a little bit scraggly, so I placed a Target pickup order. I got some potting soil, a whiteboard for a little project that I wanted to do, and a big white pot because I need to repot one of my floor plants. And this tiny little planter, it was $1. I thought it was so cute, and that it would be a nice size pot to give someone a little plant for a gift for their desk or something. I also have this big tin. It's been in my closet for a while. One of my coworkers drilled some holes in the bottom of it for me to use it as maybe a succulent garden. I pulled it out just to see if it would work for anything that I was going to do today. And I love that it has handles because you could potentially hang it since it has handles on each side. This is my pothos that I said was doing good a few videos ago. But now I just feel like it's looking a little bit overgrown and not quite happy. So I went ahead and gave her a summer haircut. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos to show me how to do this because you guys know I just became a plant mom last year. So I didn't want to do anything to harm my plant at all, but I just felt like the vines didn't have a lot of life, and I wanted to give it a bit more fullness by cutting it down and propagating the vines. All of those words made no sense to me about 2 weeks ago, but now I feel like I'm a propagating queen, sort of. Planterina taught me how to cut these leaves. Basically, you cut the roots so that it's like right at the little nubs, and then these are the vines that I ended up just tossing outside to compost, and got all of the little arms, like little nubs, into water to water propagate. And then I saw a secondary propagating method as well. So I did a nice full one for this because I would like it to be a nice full plant eventually. And then I decided to dry propagate this plant. This plant, now that it's been a week, is doing okay. There have been a few leaves that I can tell haven't rooted, but overall I think that the dry propagation is going to work as well. I'll keep you guys updated, and you'll be able to see I did one additional water propagation right there. So I have 3 plants that are gonna grow vines that hopefully I will be able to repot and make new plants. And if you saw this thing sitting on the floor, it's my yoga hammock. I'm hoping that the boy will come and hang it from that beam on the top of my balcony. Anyhow, I have this snake plant that is pushing out of its pot. You can see how oblong the pot is. So I wanna go ahead and repot this one. It's been far over, I don't know, 8 months since I've had it, so it should be ready to be repotted. I watched a couple videos on how to do this too. I'm hoping that this pot isn't too big. I feel like it might be just a little bit too big. So we'll give it a few weeks and see how it goes. Hopefully I don't kill this poor plant. I'm a new plant mom, and I think all of us probably lose some plants along the way. So the video that I watched said that I should probably be able to just pull the full plant out and put it into the pot. Let me tell you, this soil must have been wetter than I thought it was, and I ended up making a mess, and I regret not putting something down or taking it outside. But this Dyson is amazing. You don't have to have a Dyson, but just honestly, any cordless vacuum is amazing. I 10 out of 10 recommend having one in your house if you don't already, especially if you have like wood looking floors. I wanted to show you what I was wearing this day. Just a pair of Lola Gets leggings and this tie top. It's like a wrap top. It's actually from Swimsuits for All a couple of years ago, and it just ties in the back. So on my Target pickup order, I went ahead and ordered a cork/whiteboard. I thought I had an extra whiteboard, but that was not true. I must have gotten rid of it in one of my moves. And the purpose of this is for freezer inventory. I, like most of you guys, have an apartment freezer, and things get shoved to the back and it's really hard to know what's in there. I have a pretty full freezer because I've been liking to stay inside for about 2 weeks at a time if possible. So I really try to load up enough when I go out. So I got this so that I can put a line item for like my proteins, my carbs, fun foods, fruits, etc. Fruits and veggies, whatever's in there, so that I know what's in there, and then I can make a list on the side for what I would like to add. They basically just have these command strips that you put around the border, and you can stick it to your refrigerator without any damage. And this has become so helpful for me, guys. It took a little bit of time to do initially, not the whiteboard part, but the part where I pull everything out of the freezer to take the inventory, because you don't want everything to defrost, so you kind of have to do it in segments. And voila, definitely recommend this if you have a small freezer, have everything written down, which is really nice. And I just want to shout out to this ice roller again. I got it from Amazon. It's $10. I had the worst headache the other day, and I just massaged this on my temples and along my jawline, and it was amazing. I diffused some peppermint essential oil, and it kicked my headache really quickly. So shout out to you, $10 ice roller from Amazon. You are the real MVP. Speaking of essential oils, that's the little plant that I don't really love the way that it looks right now. I'm going to try to reshape it some. I've been really loving the essential oils from Edyn's garden, no relation. I have some eucalyptus, some rosemary, and some grapefruit from Edyn's garden, and a few others, but I just wanted to show you these if you are looking for a brand of pure essential oils that are semi-affordable. And there, oh, that's my plant, and there are my babies. Look at them. Oh my gosh, they are so cute. And then I capped off the night with some buffalo shrimp, some of my pickled onions, since this was a few days later, some green beans, and some carrot chips, and a little bit of ranch dip. I used the same recipe for ranch that I have always used, and this was super duper yummy. 10 out of 10 recommend. The next morning, I wanted to go ahead and re-tint my eyebrows. They were looking a bit sparse, so I just mixed equal parts of the Just for Men. It's super duper simple. This box will last you probably 6 to 8 months. And I just use a Q-tip and put this all over my eyebrows, but trying to avoid the skin around my eyebrow, just concentrating really on the hair. It can be kind of hard to see, but it develops pretty quickly. So I go over each eyebrow. You could totally use like an angled eyeliner brush for this if you want it to be more precise. I just kind of use my finger to clean up around my eyebrows. It does dye my fingernails for a few days, but I don't know. I'm just lazy. This is the way that I like to do it. And like I said, it does start to develop kind of quickly, as you can see. And once it develops, you can really tell like where it is, where you need to add, and what you need to clean up. And there we are. They are pretty dark the first couple of days, but I'll show you what they look like later in the week when it kind of wears off. This morning I had some yummy papaya for breakfast, and I also had a decaf latte. I felt like I had a lot of energy already, so I didn't really need anything extra. I'm just using the cold brew function on my Ninja hot and cold bar. I really do like this machine. There's a few things that are quirky about it. And then I made a fancy latte, y'all. I used the iced coffee that you saw, and then I used about half a cup of almond milk. This is a 16-ounce jar, I believe, so there's probably about 8 ounces of coffee and then 4 ounces of almond milk. I weigh everything out just because I'm on Dub, so I need to be able to track what I am using. And then I used a little bit of the maple extract. And then I just use a little bit of the Lakanto vanilla, and then I give it a good stir, make sure that it's well combined before I add on my coconut whipped cream. I get this at Trader Joe's, the coconut whip. There's almond whip, there's regular whip, whatever you like. I use about 24 grams of it. And then I went over to one of my cookbooks and looked up some recipes for the next week so that I could place my Walmart pickup order. And when I did place Walmart pickup, I got a crock pot. It is so little. It was literally $10. It's the tiniest little crock pot, but I wanted to make a few crock pot soups, and I just wanted to show you guys how little bitty it is over there on the counter. I'm getting ready to go to Madison's house, Madison Mukbang. Most of you guys know her. Now her name is Madison Maskbang because she makes masks. She got a vintage sewing machine during this pandemic and learned how to make masks. So I'm going to pick up 4, one for my mom, one for my sister, one for my cousin that works with my mom, and then I'll have one extra for either like the boy, whoever needs a mask, because we have masks, but just in case. So yeah, I'm going to get that, and then I'm going to do a curbside pickup of some CBD because that's a part of my wellness routine. So I am going to do that, need that, love that. And look, my little board is still up there, guys, that I made the other day that you guys saw earlier in the vlog. So yay, or in the weekly vlog. This is a weekly vlog. So I'm going to get probably a snack because I haven't eaten since earlier, but it's not quite time for dinner, so something just in case I get a bit peckish in the car. Probably some cantaloupe because I had a really ripe cantaloupe that I had to like rush cut up and I got 2 more sitting up there, and a papaya and English muffins and some kiwis. So gonna get a snack and gonna hit the road, and I'll talk to you guys when I get back. I've made it home and I got this little package from Madison. She made my mask. I believe they're $13 each, not 100% sure. So I got this little light bulb print one, and she put this little fabric on the inside. Oh, this one's so pretty. I low-key hope that my mom does not pick this one so that I can have it. There's this one, and she uses the little flower print on the inside. And then I just got a plain black one in case the boy comes and he needs an extra one. Oh my gosh, this one's adorbs. And then another floral one, which is different than this one, so you can see the difference. And look at this inside print. Oh my lordy. So basically they have a nose wire up here so that you can put it around your nose, and then you pull the string up to scrunch it. The reason I'm not demonstrating is because I have on makeup, so I don't want to get the inside of one dirty, and because I don't know who's gonna pick which one, so which one will end up being mine. I'm not gonna do first pick. I'm gonna let my mom and my cousin do first pick. So yeah, you bend this and then you kind of pull this up, and it'll start to scrunch and kind of cup around the sides of your face and under your neck, and you can like wear it hanging when you're not when you don't have it in mask mode. So if you want one, head over to Madison's Instagram. She is shipping them too. Oh, and they have a pocket. So if you want to put a filter in, this is the bottom, by the way. So if you want to put in a filter, you can do that too. So she started with this design and then like kept learning more as she made them. So now they're like advanced and they're a really good price, and she's really only charging enough to cover shipping and the fabric. Obviously she did not ask me to talk about this. I just really like Madison, and she's local and she's a small business now. I don't think she's like made it into a business. She just wants to help. So yeah, I'm really happy with all of them. I think they're super cute. I don't know why I got the light bulb one, but I was just like, ooh, I kind of like it. Look at this little fabric on the inside of the black one. I guess they could technically be reversible if you wanted them to. It would just have a little different border on the outside. But yeah, I thought this was super cute. She has one in like the white color like this too, but she has a ton of different fabrics. She actually wasn't there when I picked these up. I wouldn't have chatted anyhow. Hello, pandemic. But she was running to Hobby Lobby to get more fabric. So yeah. I picked up this CBD vape from a local shop from Bloom Farms. I really love the Bloom Farms vapes. My period is starting and I need CBD during that time of the month. And I need baths. So I had gotten a shipment in from Lush. The main purpose of this shipment was not bath bombs. It was honestly my favorite thing in the entire world, the tea tree water. It's so good. I need this stuff for my skin, so I ordered another bottle of it, and I used my old bottle and I split it between the two, so I have one in each one of my bathrooms. And I got 3 bath bombs, a butterball, an avo bath, and a peachy. They're 3 of my favorites. I miss the avo bath shower gel so bad. I'm so sad they discontinued it. And just in case you were wondering, Lush does try to stay very low waste. So these little popcorn inside of the package, they are biodegradable. They're made of like potato or yam starch, so they dissolve very quickly. So love Lush for that. There's my kind people, or my kind of people sign. This is from Altered State. I got it there last year or maybe the year before on sale. And I was just doing a little bit of tidying this afternoon. You know, it's not a day, a week, a month, a moment in my life if I am not vacuuming. This place gets so dusty so quickly. And again, this Dyson, so amazing. I absolutely love this thing. It makes vacuuming less annoying than if I were having to drag a cord around behind me. But this was just like my daily tidy. Obviously, you can see I haven't tidied my room because there's dirty clothes on the floor, and if my mom were here, she would say, living like a slob. So that is why I keep such a tidy place, guys, because my mother will judge me and ask me why I'm living like a slob. So there's my slob bedroom back there. And while cleaning up, I found a couple of empty bottles. I'm gonna run these through the dishwasher. I really like to reuse these bottles for like hair products and bath products. And I wanted to show you guys how perked up my plant was. This was about 3 days after cutting it. It looked so happy, so full, super vibrant, and it was really being drugged down by those vines. So I just wanted to show you how well she was doing. Every few days, I like to pull out all of my plants and let them get a sun bath. I put them into my shower once a month to give them like a good drench, but in between, I do like to give them some sun. Especially the propagating plants, I read that they don't like cold or drafts, so you should really put them in warm areas. So since I was giving all of my other plants some sun for the evening, I thought that I would put them in the sun as well to make sure that it wasn't too cool in my house. You guys know I live in Texas and it gets hot here, so I do run my AC, but I do try to keep the front area of the house at like a moderate temperature so it doesn't get too cold for the plants. I went to my mom's house to get my hair done, and I wanted to show you guys Jinx. She is so cute. I don't know where Bella was, but Jinx is my little namesake. They named her Jinx because they said I jinxed them into getting a dog because I took Nicole when I went to California, and her middle name is Edyn. So little Jinx Edyn. She does have a little eye cherry, but the vet said it's fine. And I just wanted to show you guys, this is like 4 days later, what my brows look like. So they do calm down quite a bit and start to look natural, but filled in enough that you don't have to do anything. There's my makeshift office of the moment. I'm actually sitting there currently editing this video. So I absolutely love this little spot. This is my perfect spot for an office now. And I wanted to give you an update of the plants about a week later. Still propagating, still doing really, really well. And one little leaf is dying, but I'm gonna snip that one off and hope that the rest of the plant does really well. So I'm having some sprouted sourdough bread from Trader Joe's. I really like this one. It's just really hearty and good. So I just throw it in the air fryer because I don't have a toaster. And then I chopped up some tomatoes, some avocados, and there's a bunch of cucumbers under there. You just can't really see them. Ooh, there's some yellow tomatoes. And then a couple of jalapenos, some of my pickled onions, and I've been digesting them just fine now that they're pickled. I just try not to overdo it. I only have some like every few days, and I chopped it up and added in some lemon. I did the upside down lemon method, which is supposed to keep the seeds in your palm, but I think my palm was too loose because I still ended up dropping seeds into my summer salad. This is something that my mom makes all of the time. Instead of making lettuce with salad, which she also does, she'll just do like a chopped salad without lettuce, and it's one of my favorite things to eat. There it is. I got it, guys. I got the lemon seed. Look at me. I fished it out perfectly. There's nothing more horrible than biting into a lemon seed. But anyhow, I decided I was gonna have some tea with my lunch, and I just used the cold brew function again. I like the cold brew function on this machine. I'm using 2 of the hibiscus refresh from Trader Joe's, and I just let it fill up, and then I add some of this strawberry stevia. And y'all, it honestly tastes like Kool-Aid. It's so good, so refreshing, and I love it. I just found this at my local Randall's. Sweet drops of stevia strawberry. And there's my lunch. I added some shrimp in there, some cold shrimp, and like I said, my mom makes this all the time. It's so good, sometimes with avocado, sometimes without avocado. She likes to add chickpeas to it, and then 2 hunks of bread. I'm showing you guys my ratchet nails, they look so bad, and some lemon and sriracha, and I have my tea, and it was a really fantastic lunch. I like to sit here and just look out the window. It's such a peaceful place, y'all. Like, honestly, I'm in love with this apartment. I went ahead and painted my nails because they were looking really bad. I need to do my toenails this week, and I'm using the Dazzle Dry system. They sent me this a really long time ago. This one is called Tweet Me, and this one is called Less is Mauve. I like this system. It dries very quickly, but they claim that it lasts like a week to 2 weeks, and when I told them it didn't work for me, they were kind of weird about it. They're like, "Are you sure you're doing it right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it just doesn't last on my nails." I really love that it dries quickly, so I like the set. I just don't think it does what it says it does, which is a little bit annoying, but overall I still use it, so obviously I like it. It's just I'm editing this video 4 days after filming, and like half of my nail polish is gone, so that's definitely short of the 2-week claim. But it's vegan, cruelty-free, it dries extremely fast, like I said, which is why I love it, and it looks really pretty for a couple of days. So if you're already used to painting your nails like every couple of days, you'll like it. If you don't like to fuss with your nails, like if you're a gel polish wearer, you probably would not like it. But I just feel like it's nice to paint your nails like It's a nice calming activity. You can do it while you're watching TV. It's a nice way to pass time during quarantine. And like I said, since this dries so fast, you don't have to sit around for an extremely long time afterwards. But yeah, and I noticed that I kind of painted my nails to match my dress. That was not on purpose. I just have all of my nail polishes kind of haphazardly thrown into this little bin, and I have a couple more Dazzle Dry colors. I have some LVX, I have some Zoya, and I just leave them in this basket, and it's in my TV stand. So when I'm watching TV, often I look at it and I'm like, oh, I can paint my nails. So yeah. I have been obsessed again with the Sun Gold Kiwis. You guys know I went through a major obsession with these last year, and I'm back on it. I got them from Costco. I don't know if you can find them other places, but that's the only place that I've seen them in Texas. They are so sweet, but just a little bit tangy compared to other kiwis. And this is how I eat them. I don't know how other people eat their kiwis, but I thought I'd show you. I just like to run my spoon around the outside of the skin and they just pop out like that. So that's how you cut kiwis, if you didn't know already. I'm sure most people know this. It says it on the container that this is how you should do it, so I'm sure most people know, but I just wanted to show you just in case you didn't. I also had this giant decaf Dalgona coffee. It is so huge. Like, I whipped peaks into this coffee. I actually went to take a shower and I left my KitchenAid on and I came back to this giant fluff monstrosity, but it was very good. That's what it looks like once it's all mixed in, and it was just creamy and freaking delicious. And finally, this is what I've decided to do with this side space. Even though I do eventually plan on getting like a little deep freezer for over here and a few other things like a big rug, I don't think I'm going to use it as a dining room. I think I'm just going to use it as my keyboard area. My grandma had a keyboard and she taught piano, so I thought I would get one since I'm going to be at home for a while. I tidied up for the night. This is my guest bathroom. I use it the most out of the 2 bathrooms in my apartment for sure. It's the same decor from my last apartment. And I ended the night by turning on my candles in my living room, watching some Bon Appetit, having maybe another cup of hot decaf coffee, and just relaxing. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, remember to keep an open mind, keep an open heart, practice self-love and compassion, but don't take shit from anyone. I love you guys endlessly, and I hope you love yourselves even more. Talk to you really soon. Bye-bye.